I've heard a lot of people saying that you don't need physical workout for shooting. You just have to stand. Shooting is definitely a mental game because when you're on the lane, it's just you. I guess I went to school for like 10 days max.
Hello, I'm Manan. Today, I'm happy to chat with Isha Taksale. She's an 18-year-old Indian junior air rifle shooter. She's won numerous medals in international competitions, and I'm excited to know about her journey. Hi Isha, welcome to Mike and Magic. I know you're busy, but thank you for taking time.
Hey Manan, thank you.
So, how old were you when you had your first experience of shooting? Can you take us through the journey of shooting?
I was 9 or 10 years old when I started shooting. So it's been around 8 to 9 years that I've been in the sport. And before shooting, I've tried a lot of sports. I used to play chess, badminton, basketball. But then my father was like, "Ki, let's try an individual sport." Actually, I joined basketball for another reason. I thought it might help me with the height, which it clearly did not. But then I changed to shooting, and it was something very new for me and my family. But it was there at my school. So I started it from my school. Then I shifted to Amravati, and that is where I got my professional training. I qualified for nationals and team trials. I was doing well at the school level, but not on the national level. So my coach asked me to go to Mumbai and train under Suma ma'am at Laksha. And I think that's definitely the best decision that I've made for my shooting career because I can see the growth. Even now, I I am just getting better at every point. Even if I have some lows, I am still able to get out of it and do better. Yeah.
Buying your first gun must have been special. How was the experience? I'm sure it was with your parents.
It was fun. So it was again in, I guess I was 10 years. So I just went to get pallets, the shooting pallets we need. We had gun at our school, but I just wanted to get pallets and I went there with my father and the owner of the shop. He told us that we have guns too. So he showed us the gun and my father was like, "Okay, let's get it." I'm like, "Are you serious? I just started the sport. I can't get it now. And we have it at school, so why do we get it now?" He was like, "No, if you're serious about it, let's get it." So I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And yeah, that's my first experience.
So, can you take us through the sport and what the shooting comparatively involves?
So shooting is an Olympic event, and there are a lot of events in shooting. I do 10-meter rifle. There's 50-meter rifle where there's three position: prone, kneeling, and standing. Then there's pistol. There are again a lot of events in pistol: 10-meter, 25-meter, I guess 50-meter. Then there's shotgun. I don't know much about shotgun, but yeah, these are the events.
I've always been curious as to how one scores points in shooting. Can you tell me about it?
So we have 2 rounds, qualification and final. And our target is like the 10 ring is very small. It's like a small dot. So if you touch that dot, it's a 10. When we used to shoot on paper targets, that dot used to count as 10. And if you miss the dot, it's a 9. So you miss 1 point. If you shoot a 9 or 8, you miss the points. But now we have it in decimals. So even if you miss a point, you can recover from those points. And 10.9 is the highest shot, is the center of the target. And then there's 10, 10 8, 10 7, it goes.
What is a shot sequence like?
It is a big sequence. Uh, so we load the pellet first. I take a deep breath. Then I pick it up. Again, I'm just breathing. I'm just focusing on the breathing because shooting is all about breathing. So you just have to stay natural with the breath. It's the most natural and basic thing, but at the same time, it's the most hardest element to master. So I'm there with the breathing. Again, I turn my head. I'm there with the breathing. I place my cheek. I check my sights and then come down in the center and shoot. and have a good follow through. So yeah, that's the sequence.
What kind of kit one needs to start shooting comparatively?
So it's a very hard material, very you can't move in that material. You have a robotic walk when you wear it. We have trousers, we have jacket of the same material, so you cannot sit. You just have to you have to open the zips if you want to sit. You have to just open the complete kit if you want to sit. So it helps us with the stability. We don't move a lot in that kit, and we have shoes, gloves, cap. Yeah, that's the shooting kit.
What are your favorite items in the kit?
My it's my cap. So we wear a cap over here to block the light, and I have pins on my cap. Whenever we travel to another country for matches, we get pins of those competitions, or we trade pins with other country athletes. So I have a lot of pins on my cap, and that is my favorite part about the cap. Yeah.
How often do you train and how? Do you train with the coach or you train by yourself?
I train 6 days a week. I have 1 day off, and I do train with my coaches. I train with my coach Shirur ma'am and Smita ma'am, and I train for around 3 hours. If we take the complete thing with warm up and all, it takes around 4 to 5 hours.
And do you also practice at home?
No, I practice at Lakshya Shooting Club.
As a sports enthusiast myself, I was wondering, is there a specific workout in shooting or because, just a motionless sport?
It's not. I've heard a lot of people saying that you don't need physical workout for shooting. You just have to stand. But we have to stand there for 2 hours. We have to stand there continuously for 1.5 hours at a competition. So we do need a lot of physical training. The most important parts are core, back, legs, and arm, because we need that stability and control over our body to stand for that long. And till the last shot, we need to have that control and stability. So we do have to do workout every day.
People say that shooting is like, more of a mind game than, a physical game like rugby, football. So, how do you train your mind for the sport?
Shooting is definitely a mental game, because when you're on the lane, it's just you. There's no one else with you. You are there with your thoughts for around 1.5 hour, and you have to just block those thoughts and focus on those 60 shots that you have in a match. And it gets pretty tough. It gets pretty tough for me even now after 20-30 shots. It You just kind of start losing that flow. Sometimes you get that flow after those shots, sometimes you start losing it. But I train every day for my mental work. I do yoga, I do pranayama at morning, and there are a lot of breathing exercises that I do. uh, there are a lot of visualization that I do, and yeah.
Have you attended any workshops like in India or, abroad?
I've attended a lot of workshops that are held by Go Sports, actually, that has helped me a lot. I haven't traveled anywhere out to attend those workshops, but yeah, I've attended those.
Did it change your game or it had no effect on your game?
It did. Some point you get some very small points that make a huge difference. So I did get those points, yeah.
Studying and shooting simultaneously, how do you juggle the two? Is it difficult?
So I'm done with my 12th now. I'm not very worried about studying right now, but it was difficult because I did not attend school for, I guess I went to school for like 10 days max, and it was hard to manage with everything. But my classmates helped me a lot, and my parents helped me a lot at that time. And before boards, always before boards, I had matches. Before 10th board, I had a match. I had match between my 12th boards, and it was tough. But if you want to do something, you have to do something, and we can't just miss studying too with sports. We have to do both. So yeah.
So, just a quick follow up. You told me you work out. What are the types of exercises you do? And about the workshops as well. Which workshop did you attend?
So about the exercises, we mostly do work on our core because it's the most important part that helps us to stay in that position for a long time. So I have planks in my warm up. There's a lot of core activation that we do, crunches and all, and actually we do a lot of back workout too because there's a lot of load on our back. Our position isn't straight. We are there's a bend, and because of that I had an injury too. So we have to keep working on back too, and it's mostly about the lower body too because we need that balance and stability. So we work a lot on our balance, like single leg balance, or there are a lot of disc balance that we do. And of course, the other strength part, like squats, lunges, we do a lot of exercise. And about the workshops, I've attended a lot of workshops through Go Sports. So there are a lot of sessions I've attended on recovery through nutrition, through sports science, like physiotherapy, through um, strength and conditioning. There are a lot of parts that come under recovery. So we had those workshops. Then there was a workshop on anti-doping, which is very important because whenever we go for international matches or even domestic matches, we should know about those points, and we should know it because it can happen with anyone, even if we are not trying to foul play, but it just happens. We don't know if we are consuming something that comes under the doping. So that is a very important point. So the anti-doping part was a very important. Then there was a session on sports science, the complete thing, and that is definitely a lot important. Yeah. So the workshops were conducted through Go Sports Foundation and Infosys Foundation.
When you're losing and you need to make a comeback, what do you do?
I think I'm better with the comeback rather than being in the top from the start because I have made a lot of comebacks, and that is I just don't try to give up at that point. When you don't try to give up, you just have to stay consistent with the process. Just have to stay there with the task and not give up. If you just have, even if you have that thought of giving up for a second, you lose it, and you just have those. Then you get those overthinking points that maybe I am not able to do it, or maybe it just won't happen. So being in that zone at that time, staying with the task, staying with the process. I know it's quite boring staying with the process for like 60 shots, but it's just those 60 shots that we have to stay there. And then I'm like, okay, last 10 shots, last 5 shots, it's just these shots, and I have those in my hand. So I try not to give up at that point and stay in the present. Yeah.
Do you have any pre-shot routine or any superstitions?
I have a big routine, and my routine is actually my god for me because I hate to miss my routines. I never miss it. If I miss any one part of my routine and I go to bed, I'll wake up even if it's 12 or 1 a.m. I'll wake up, I'll do it, and then I'll go back. So I have routines like it's very basic routine, like before match, preparing everything for the other day at night, and taking out all the clothes, make packing my bag, and some other skincare routine. I know it's not related to shooting, but I feel that if I stay consistent with this, that helps me in my shooting too. Staying consistent off the lane, those small points, that does help me to stay consistent on the lane. So I do have a routine, and even before match, I have my warm up routine. We do mental warm up, we do physical warm up, we do technical warm up. So that routine is there. And superstition, I actually had a lot of superstitions. I don't know why. It was just there. When I walk on the lane, I always put my right leg first. It's something that I do whenever I walk. Every time I put my right leg first. Whenever I tie my shoelace, I'll tie it from the right leg first. And that tap that I do on the shoe. So yeah, there are a lot of. I always wear collar t-shirt for my matches too. I know it's kind of weird, but athletes do believe, and I guess mostly all athletes believe in some of these superstition points. Yeah.
What aspects of shooting has, brought you the biggest improvements in life?
I would say consistency, because that is something very hard to achieve. You can't. I was just talking yesterday about this. We had a Go Sports session about this. We had athletes over there, and I asked this questions that it's very boring to be consistent. It's very boring to be disciplined, because doing the same thing every day is very boring. And I like to do it, but at some point you do get bored of it. You just don't want to do it. But when you keep going, it just becomes an habit, and then you just don't have to actually do it. It happens. Even if you forget about it, you'll do it in some or the other way. So, yeah, it just happens.
What would you recommend shooters to focus on improving in your experience?
I would say focusing on those small and basic points that we think are not very important, like stick to the basics. For technical, it's balance, aiming. Aiming, we think we just have to look, match the sights, and shoot, but it's quite tough to aim too. Uh, Sometimes you are there in the center, and you can see you're going out, you're moving away from the center, but you still pull the trigger. And that makes a big difference. You can lose by 0.1, you can lose your medal, you can lose your final. So just stay with the basics. And the most important part about shooting is breathing. It is very natural, it's very basic thing, but it is definitely very hard to master. I learned it after getting in seniors. I learned it now how to do breathing properly. So it took me 8 years to learn breathing, and now I am still on the way to master it. And it is difficult. When you change your breathing pattern, it changes your technical, complete technical routine. But if you change it and have it in the most natural way, it is the best for your shooting.
You're a true champion, and what has your biggest moment been so far?
It was 2023 Nationals. So I topped the qualification round with the score of 633.3. And I was very happy. I was there in the senior finals then. And after for first 5 shots in the final, I was again on the top with a good score. And there was a big difference between me and the second position. And then I shot the next 3 shots. And then at the fourth shot, I just picked up my rifle, and I don't know what happened, but I pulled the trigger. It just happened. I did not do it, but I just pulled it. And it was a washout shot, but it wasn't shown on the screen. So no one knew it was a washout shot. I still completed my process, so everyone thought I was just doing holding, or I cancelled the shot, but I noticed it. Then I was like, okay, what do I do now? But then I went on with the next shot, and then that was the one washout shot. So I was like, I was like, no, I don't think I should just keep it to myself, because if the crowd knows that, I have missed that shot, I had to be honest with myself at that point. I could not just keep my mouth shut and shoot the next shot and be on the first position. So I told the jury members about it, and that shot was counted as in zero. They even checked if the shot was showed over the lane, but it was not there, and they counted it as a zero. So my rank dropped down to 8, and I was eliminated the 8th position. It was tough. But when I kept my rifle down, I could hear the crowd cheering loudly for me, and everyone was standing. At the whole crowd, all the jury members were standing because of my honesty. So I would say I didn't win the nationals at that time, but it was a big and a very different experience for me that I don't think I could have experienced if I won the medal. So it was something very different, and something that stayed with is still with me. I've learned from that mistake, and I'm still scared at some points that I don't repeat it in matches. And it's been tough to get out of it, but it was fun. Yeah.
Do tell us about your experience at the ISSF competitions in New Delhi.
So it was my qualification round, and I did not do well in the qualification round at all. I would say I played terribly over there. It was too bad. I did not expect that at all from me. And I was very sad after that match. So next day, again, at the start, it was quite difficult for me to handle it in the qualification round. But I ended it with a good score. Then it was the finals. We had a point difference of 6 points, 6 or 7 points. And we were competing against Team India 1, we were Team India 2. And we were way back. I mean, we need 16 points to win. The other team was at 15 points and we were at 9 points. So it was definitely very difficult to have a comeback at that point. And everyone thought that the team 1 has won the medal. But me and my partner were like, no, we cannot miss it. We cannot settle for silver. We have to move for the gold. And there's one more thought that I had. So I have played 8 internationals till now, and out of those 8, in those 6 internationals, I have won 8 international gold medal. So before this was my eighth international gold. So I won 7 gold medals. I was like, I can't just settle for silver and break that gold line. So I was like, let's do it. So we kept on. We had a great comeback, and we won the gold medal. And that was my last junior international. It was fun. It was very fun. Yeah.
So, traveling the world for the sport, how does it feel? And what do you like about it?
It is fun. We travel with the complete team. I have my friends who travel with me, and it's actually really fun to travel with all the coaches too. You get to know more about them, you get to know how they are out of the shooting range. We have fun with the coaches, we have fun with the teammates, and we go to different places. And traveling to a new country is always a good experience. You get to see beautiful things, you get to meet beautiful people. So, yeah, it's really nice to travel with the team all across the world.
In shooting, even zero point 0.1 can change everything. How do you fight under pressure? And I also read that you won by zero point 0.1 margin. How did you feel? Were you in disbelief or were you overjoyed?
So I have lost because of a 0.12 and I won at a point difference of a 0.12. It is difficult, but uh, you just don't have to think a lot about the points. If you keep going on with your task, if you stay in the present, and if you just have to stay with yourself, if you keep thinking about the points, that what if I lose, and if you keep looking at the scorecard, I never do that in finals. I never look at the scorecard. I just stay there with my eyes closed, with the breathing that, whatever the last shot was, let's just focus on the next shot. And I always have that one point that I just do not want to miss anything in my whole routine that will make me miss that zero point 0.1 margin. So I always just believe in staying in the present and yeah, doing my work and not looking at the scorecard or any other athletes thing that they are doing.
You must be so good at focusing on the target. Does that help you to ignore distractions like in real life, like the phone or social media?
It does. I didn't have social media before 12th because it could have been very difficult for me to manage studies, shooting, and working on the social media. So I was like, no. But now I do have it. And it's not that difficult because I don't really care much about social media. I do post few I do have few posts, but you know, it's a outer thing. It's not involved in my shooting. I never let social media or any other thing get involved in my shooting. That is a complete different world whenever I'm on the lane. Not even on the range. When I'm on the lane, it's a different thing. I just have to be in that circle with the weapon and with the target. So I don't think social media affects me or it will ever affect me, but I've seen a lot of athletes actually getting affected by it because you read comments and people are there who comment weird things on your posts. But I don't care about it. I don't. Yeah.
Finally, what are your future ambitions within target shooting and in life otherwise?
So I am definitely preparing for the 2028 LA Olympics. And right now, I have my nationals next month and I am preparing for it. I just made my debut in the senior team and I have to get into senior team for the internationals. So we have trials for that in the next year. So there are a lot of continuous matches that are lined up and that I'm focusing on. And at the same time, I have to focus on my recovery too, because having so many matches lined up is difficult. It gets really difficult to work on the recovery part too. So I have to work on the both things. I'm quite nervous and scared how it will go the next year, but I'm excited for it too because it will be a good experience. No matter what happens, I know that I won't give up. So yeah, I'm looking forward for it.
The Go Sports Foundation has been instrumental in shaping India's future. For listeners who would like to make a difference, what's the best way they can, support?
So throughout my journey, I've been with the Go Sports team for around 3 years now. And in these 3 years, they have supported me at every part, every point that I need help at. So the major part that I would say was my injury part. I was going through in back I was going through a back injury in 2024. It started at 2023, but I could not focus on it because I had a lot of competition lined up. So I just endured the pain and was with the injury for around 1 year. But in 2024, it got worse, and I addressed the issue to Lakshya Shooting Club and Go Sports Foundation, and that is when they helped me a lot. They helped me with the physiotherapy sessions, they helped me with the nutrition sessions, and at the same time, it was a physical injury, but it impacts your mental health too because you're not doing very well at that point. You're trying to focus on a lot of things. You want to make a comeback instantly after getting out of that injury, and it's quite difficult at that point. You need people, you need that environment that supports you. They were always there with me. At some point I thought maybe uh they might not be interested in me anymore. I thought at some point, but no, everyone was there with me the whole time, and they helped me to get out of the injury and care by the Go Sports team, and it was a big help for me at that point. And now I'm completely okay. I'm free with the injury, and I don't have that anymore, and I'm back on track with a good graph. So there are a lot of points that Go Sports Foundation has helped me with, and injury being one, recovery sessions be other, sports science sessions, mental recovery. There are a lot of sessions that we do, and which are very helpful for the future of any athlete. You have to work on a lot of things. You can't just train every day and just win medals. No, you have to work on each element that an athlete should. Nutrition, sports, everything. There are a lot of sessions, there are a lot of parts that you have to master. So, Go Sports has helped me with those parts, and I am working on it, and we are all doing well. Yeah.
It was fun talking to her. I thought it was really awesome in how she cared about choosing honesty over winning. If you were in her place, what would you choose?